What's up, friends? Mike here, and I'm joined with Shpeshal Nick. How you doing, Nick?
What's going on?
And also OneBadMutha. How you doing, man?
I'm doing real good, Mike.
Awesome. So today, on our road or lead up to E3, we are going to be watching the Xbox E3 2003 press conference, sharing our reactions, sharing our thoughts, and I'm excited.
That is a really long time ago. 2003 was proven then.
I bet you he was in diapers. He was probably crapping his pants back then. We were crapping our pants figuratively. He was literally.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Well, I'm definitely ready to get the show on the road whenever you guys are.
Yep.
Oh, okay, so so we're all ready to watch this E3, are we?
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then, let's go.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome.
Look at these three boys.
I hope most of
You gotta excuse the.
Look at they all called each other in the morning and wore matching
I love
clothes.
this high def quality.
These guys must be from Melbourne. They're dressed in all black.
I love how Jay Allard has his serious face on over to the right.
Xbox was the platform designed for the future of digital entertainment.
You know,
This is before he started wearing 4 to 5 layers of clothing. Remember when
Isn't
he
it funny? Did you hear that? Did you hear what he said? He said that Xbox is the future platform for digital entertainment, even as far back as 03.
Oh yeah, I mean, They knew what they were eventually going to be. That's what the pitch was. And this part right here, this is them talking to the board that's watching, not to the game.
Yes, it's really interesting. You have, whoa, zoom in. You have that. You have how Phil handles it now. He gives us like semi-passionate speech talking about gamers and unifying and stuff, and now this is like.
So remind me now, is this Robbie or Ed?
That's Robbie Bach.
Okay, this is
Robbie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
With his shirt on top.
and this is the year after Live launched, right? It launched in 2002, so Live is still fresh.
Yep. This is 6 months after Live. I'm still playing a lot of Unreal Championship at this time.
I'm still playing it.
Oh yeah, I'm still playing online. I'm playing Mech Assault, Ghost Recon,
Yep, I was there.
and
I think Rainbow Six 3 was out too, or not Rainbow Six 3, but Rainbow Six, whatever the console version is.
you guys want to take bets on how long until we see the first gameplay?
It's funny. A lot of what he's saying, there's still a lot of it still echoes today when they do these E3 speeches. It's funny.
But now it applies to the cloud gaming, like back then.
Everyone has MP3 players. Everyone, it's like, man, they say a lot of that kind of stuff now.
Yeah.
But
they're choosing and creating their own lifestyle.
I mean, they're talking about basically the connected world, like the introduction to the connected world, right? Because broadband was still coming into its own at this point.
Oh, very in its infancy. Yeah.
Well, if you remember E3 back here, I don't think it wasn't just about the fans. Like they were really talking to business people too, and they had to do both. If you remember, like Sony do? They used to do a lot of like graphs and this is our sales and all that other stuff. A lot of this was just to kind of sell everybody else, not just the game.
Oh yeah. Like back in this time, they were still talking to retailers and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're having those backdoor or behind closed door meetings of like talking about how many copies to ship and stuff. Oh,
here we go.
All right, here we go.
Oh, look at that.
Oh man,
how foreboding.
I got goosebumps.
Doom 3, right?
Do you remember how amazing this looked back then? It still looks good.
It holds up.
Yeah.
Isn't that
time you
how
guys
foreboding
played-
is that we picked the E3 where the first game is id?
Yeah. Now, the first time you guys played it, did you play it on Xbox or PC?
I've
Or
still
did you
got
guys
it.
play it at all? And I remember just being absolutely amazed. And
That's so cool.
some of this isn't gameplay, but yes,
Back then, those graphics, people didn't think that was possible on a console. And I can't remember. Did they hit it close to what that video showed?
Yeah.
Any more proof?
All right,
that
because
great
I
games
don't
are at the
remember.
heart of Xbox entertainment. Xbox games
you
just
hear them talking.
Yeah, I was wondering who
yeah.
the heck that was.
more breathtaking.
It's so funny.
I was wondering
how
what the
much
hell that
things
was
have
too.
changed.
That's because
That was the people recording it.
to realize their creative potential like no other
Man.
console company.
It's a shame that Ed's not. I mean, can you imagine how much Ed would fit into today's Xbox?
Yeah, I
I
know.
said, go for it.
And Seamus.
And when LucasArts asked
Yeah,
both
those
they
yeah.
do their next big Star Wars game tonight here at this show.
Star Wars now.
Hell yeah. I said awesome.
Xbox Network.
Hey, dude. Oh,
Project
Still,
Gotham.
still the best racing IP of
Yeah, they're
racing
good
games
games.
of all time.
Number 4 still looks unbelievable today.
yeah, yeah. What I would not do for 4 to be any of these to be backwards compatible. Any of them.
Yep.
They're back
And-
compat on 360, I think.
Has anybody
They are?
really replicated the Project Gotham's?
How did they get around the car license, the music license?
Because you popped the disc in, they weren't digital. You just popped the disc in and they played.
You know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point. Now you have to download it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you know, the leap from PGR 1 to 2 was massive, massive.
Yeah.
In such a short amount of time too, because PGR 1 was basically a Xbox remaster of Metropolis Street Racer from Dreamcast. Yeah.
It was still impressive looking. I mean, it was for a launch game. It was really impressive at the time.
Yeah.
I miss Kudos though. They
Yeah.
need to bring back Kudos in some way, shape, or form.
In
I
Horizon?
don't care. Even if Forza
Well, hold on,
Horizon,
Horizon
needs to
has
come out
it.
with Kudos.
It's just not called
It's not the
Kudos.
same. It's not the same. That doesn't count.
Wait,
Any
did they say
Project
fall
Gotham
2003?
racing, any true
The
Project
obsession
Gotham
with
racing
the
fan
full
will tell you
release
it's
dates
not
is
the
still
same.
there.
Xbox Live is no more.
Oh,
I know what this is. I think. Oh yeah, yeah.
is it what? Is it KOTOR or something?
No, it's Republic Commando.
Yeah.
Ah, right. I never played this.
Nope.
I've got it now, BC, but I've never played it.
Yeah, neither have I actually.
It runs at lock 60 on the new consoles.
You know the problem that Republic Commando had back then? Because I remember this was one of the surprises for that E3. It was going up against Halo 2, Half-Life 2, Doom 3. It was dead on arrival. It's like nobody cared.
It's weird because like all the previews and impressions and everything were strong, but
Yeah.
it got just horribly overshadowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because the one of the designers from this is now at 343. He
was.
Is he
he
not
still-
anymore?
I
Ooh,
think,
I
wasn't the lead for Halo 5? He was the guy.
Yeah,
who did
Yeah,
all
he
the
was
AI
one of the
stuff,
leads for like
I think they
they
changed those guys.
they're hoping to take the experience from stuff like that. That's why they had the whatever the teammates.
Oh, Japan.
Yep.
There's a lot of beats, huh?
Yeah, they're just it's like this E3. They're probably just going to repeat this one.
God, I hope. Just give us some Japan goodness. That's kind of the biggest thing for me. Like, we know that they're going to have good Western games. I'm hoping they have some good Eastern.
Yeah.
Oh!
What's this?
True Fantasy Live Online?
This never came out.
No, and I wanted this.
Really?
No, yeah.
There's another beat that we'll see again. Japanese games that don't release. Japanese exclusives that never
And
release.
this was so ambitious.
It was.
Because it was an MMO, but everyone communicated through voice. And if I remember correctly, everyone can have jobs and stuff. Like,
It looks super impressive. Like when I read it, I was like, I couldn't imagine them actually being able to pull through on that vision.
what was this, Factor 5?
So this never released.
No, it's they kind of pulled it along all the way up until near the end. Like, it was right before they were getting ready to move their attention to 360 before they finally admit, yeah, this ain't coming out.
Wow.
Such a shame too. God, look at it. Oh my God.
That was
What a muted
the real
reception that was.
scale bound.
Yeah.
What was that, Nick?
That was a real muted reception for that.
Yeah. I'm thinking in these early days they still weren't used to.
Hey, wake up.
Oh,
Chance.
Is this breakdown?
huh? You guys know what
Is
this
this
is?
Isn't this that first person
Yeah,
It's,
I've only played an
Breakdown.
hour.
breakdown? Wasn't it called breakdown?
Breakdown. Yeah,
Yeah.
love this game.
I've only played an hour.
It's the gameplay definitely takes some adjusting if you play it now.
Yeah.
But oh my God, the story is so good, so good.
I've played
and
it. I
they-
bought it when it went BC.
Did you beat it?
No.
Microsoft was really trying with Japan back then. You think about it. They had this. They had From Software had what was the name of that?
Otogi.
Otogi. Yep. You had
Yeah. Those were
Sega was on board.
good games. Sega was
Yes.
on board in a major way. Yeah. It's a shame that
Itagaki.
it's a shame they never agreed to that deal with Sega, where the
Plays Dreamcast
Dreamcast
games.
backwards. Yeah. Because didn't they say that if you do that, we'll be exclusive the entire generation or something? Like, wasn't that the caveat? Like,
Oh, I can't remember.
because there was a reason that Sega was asking for that. This music.
This you have to remember. This is back
Jeez,
when all the
that's
gamers
full
had
on.
they had XX by their names. in the gamer
That
tags.
90s grunge rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is when everything was just like a scream.
So good. I mean, so bad, but so good.
That's what makes it good.
Yeah, this,
It doesn't go at all. It doesn't make any sense. Grunge rock with this.
it's. I mean, you know what? At least with this game, like, they. When you look at games like this, you look at Steel Battalion from Capcom. I mean, they really did put some effort behind Xbox. Not a lot, but it's not like it was just shovelware.
Ugh. Blurry much?
God, yeah.
By this time next year, Xbox Live gamers will be going online to play Crimson Sky,
Yeah, these pixels are giving me nostalgia.
3 new Tom Clancy games from Ubisoft, and every sports game from Microsoft Game Studios. More than 100 games
No EA yet.
on Xbox
Not for Xbox Live. That was,
that the next year?
2004. Yeah, that's when they.
Okay.
That's when
No, I think you're right.
Don Matrick came out on stage.
Because at the same time they brought out the EA to
Where the-
Xbox Live, they canceled their sports games.
Yeah. They, you know, they looked good to some extent, but they weren't good at all. I don't think.
I loved Inside Drive. I still think. for
I don't think I
basketball
played
games.
any of them, the Microsoft ones.
Yeah. They looked all right, but
Oh, did you hear the Nintendo name drop there? Donkey Kong Country and Banjo Kazooie.
no.
I love this next title. It just feels right from the moment you pick up the controller. It's intuitive, it's easy to get into, and it will make you smile.
It'll make you smile.
They need to bring it back.
Oh,
What?
this will be grabbed
What's
by the
this?
Ghoulies.
Yeah, that's what I'm
they had
wondering.
Rare
Like,
back
I'm
then?
hoping it's not.
Yeah, I think they
because-
bought Rare in 03.
No, they announced
Yeah,
them
this
at
is-
XO. Okay.
So it would have been XO2 then.
You know, I
Yeah,
never
this is
played
grabbed by
this.
this is grabbed by Ghoulies.
Yeah, it is.
Anybody ever
This
play
was
this
not a good
No, I
first
didn't.
game for them to. I mean, it looked all right, but the gameplay was simplistic. I tried to really like it. I'm pretty sure I bought this day one, and I regretted it. I mean, it's one. If I remember correctly, like it's got the analog combat, so you tap in the direction of the enemy.
game? Yeah.
So,
I
like,
do
if
remember
you're
that.
doing a combo, you gotta tap your right analog stick, whatever, 3 times in the same. It just,
These visuals are something.
yeah.
I didn't think they were bad for that time. I remember looking at it. I
Really?
didn't think it looked bad. Yeah.
Really?
This cart-
I mean, Rare. I mean, for all their faults and flaws, Rare never had an issue delivering in the visual department.
No, their visuals, you know, especially when you look at games like Nuts and Bolts and
Yeah.
Conquer Bad
yeah,
Fur Day
that one
Remaster.
looked really
Yeah, this
good.
one, like I don't think it was a good first introduction.
No. they should have put that one back in the oven.
Yeah, they just shouldn't have. I mean, it was probably something already in development on the GameCube.
Probably.
Still should have put it back in the oven.
Man, they got a good pace going on here. Once they finally got to the games.
Oh,
Oh God!
You know what?
Raw.
Back in those days, I
this
was
the
into
montage?
wrestling. They didn't
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
single good wrestling game back then.
Disney's. I didn't even know there was a Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure. What?
Oh, I used to love Top Spin. That was one of the
Yeah,
best.
Top Spin.
Was Top
best.
Spin wasn't the
Top Spin
Dreamcast type game, was it? What?
No,
No.
that was Virtual Tennis.
Virtual Tennis. Okay.
Top Spin started on Xbox.
Oh, did it?
Nemo. There
Oh,
it
this
is.
was a good one.
Wasn't
That was-
I thought
that was
Virtual
fun
Skies
online.
launched with Xbox Live.
There's
Came out
Conquer.
around the same time as there it is. There's Conquer.
See, people are
Yeah.
clapping for that for Conkers.
They've been quiet throughout most of the show.
Oh. Jedi
You know,
Knight.
everybody was just there
Oh.
waiting for Halo 2. Oh, this
I
is-
have
yeah.
this.
Oh,
Soul Calibur
Soul Calibur
2.
2.
Yeah. Oh God. You
I don't
know,
remember that.
looking at like this montage,
Oh,
Outlaw Volleyball. Nice zoom in on the butt crack.
oh.
Oh, Legacy King, they got to bring this franchise back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Phil's
we go.
favorite
The
game.
Halo Killer. The Halo Killer.
You know,
man.
if you look at this montage.
I was so hyped for Brute Force. I went back. I returned that within an hour or a couple hours of me playing it. I played it and I took it back the next day and sold it back.
It was all right co-op,
There it is.
but it was
Oh, that was
nice.
one of the best RPGs ever.
Still is.
Simpsons.
It's still one of the best Star Wars stories ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I remember a lot of people liking this. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Hey,
Vince.
Oh, there's Phil's favorite
Phil's
game.
favorite game.
yeah.
I used to love Amp.
Man.
Amp was
Amp
great.
2. Amp, you know, that game ran at 720p, if I remember correctly, and it looked gorgeous.
Yeah.
A lot of OG games did.
Sudaki.
I remember that was
Sudaki?
hyped, but once it came out, nobody talked about it.
Ghost Recon
Oh,
Island
man.
Thunder. Did you see that? Ubisoft was spelled like they separated Ubi and Soft.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I totally missed that.
Harry Potter. We're back there again, aren't we?
Oh, gosh.
This was This is the other biggest canceled game
Yeah.
ever.
Oh, Full Spectrum Warrior.
They gave that
was
to
a
us
good
with gold, didn't they?
Man, they're firing. They're firing through some really good games really quickly, aren't
Did you
they?
see that?
Like
What Ninja Turtles game was
Spectrum
that?
I
Oh,
don't know.
Lynx
but
was a great
it
game.
looked good.
Did you guys ever play Lynx? I used to
Yeah.
like Lynx better than Tiger
Lynx was
Woods.
alright. Oh, Metal Arms. That game was gorgeous.
But
Yeah,
seriously
they're
though,
firing
did
through
that
some
did
good
that
stuff.
Ninja Turtles game ever come out?
I think so.
I don't know.
I don't. It looked good.
See, look at that. EA had the Bond license for a bit.
Yeah, they did. None of those were. They rushed through a bunch of like good games, like they were just in.
I've got this.
I remember.
I
got the
just
disc.
recently got Counter-Strike and
Ninja Gaiden.
yes. See, how were you not? How is Ninja Gaiden in a montage?
I know.
This
One
is
of the
the
greatest
best
looking
football
games.
franchise.
great, you know, like
That was a great game. Are they
This
showing
is-
like the stuff from the previous year? Like they're going through
Yeah,
some
that's
good
what I'm
games.
wondering. See, look at Ubisoft.
oh yeah.
These are some really good games they showed there.
This is a strong E3 so far.
Like those games.
Dino
got
okay,
Crisis.
it just went down
Where's
and down.
Jawmuncher?
That was
We've got
canceled.
to tag. We've got to tell Jawmuncher to watch this. FIFA. SpongeBob.
You know what? The SpongeBob game doesn't look bad. Sega
Oh,
GT.
Sega GT.
That was before Forza. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Cameo. I like Cameo.
Cameo. Yep.
Wait, Cameo ended up
Wait.
coming out on 360.
How did?
Yeah. It originally started on the GameCube.
Yeah.
Maybe even N64, and then it got
Oh.
ported to the Xbox.
I don't remember
Fable.
ever seeing it at that E3. I thought the first time I ever saw it was when they was during the Xbox
Oh.
360 one.
We had to have the gratuitous butt shot again.
That was strange. Did I like
Well, you
black
guys-
out for that time in
you
my
guys get
life?
some
Like
weird
I
audio
don't
from
remember some of that stuff. I don't remember ever seeing Cameo back then.
We want to connect the Xbox to the digital lifestyle for more people more of the time.
Digital lifestyle
The
talk.
digital lifestyle. They keep mentioning that digital lifestyle, eh?
What if you could use your Xbox to mix your favorite music and digital photos, bring the experience into the living
I
room,
remember this.
and share it with your friends?
Is that really something? Oh God!
Jesus.
Now this looks like a 360 ad. Like early 360.
Why
You guys
was he
remember?
recommended?
You guys remember they had a 360 and like Master Chief was dancing in the background, like that early ad. What?
Why are we watching breakdancing?
Microsoft, what were you doing?
What are they trying to accomplish?
I have no idea.
They
what
were
I'm watching
going
right
at such a good pace up until now.
This,
They-
you know,
they
it's
figured
crazy. They flew through, like, they gave a bunch of those really good AAA games less time than they give indies today.
Yeah.
You know, that was like crazy. That montage went by really fast.
What? I mean, I thought this whole thing was about bringing music in, wasn't it? Is that what he was talking about?
Oh, the music
music
mixer.
mixer.
Oh, that's what that was. Sorry.
Now it
God,
makes
that.
sense.
Yeah, wow, okay.
Now I get it. I totally forgot this was the thing.
The potential of Xbox by connecting the console to the
Okay.
digital entertainment lifestyle.
This was the precursor to
This
Lips.
is what Jay used
Remember
for the
Lips?
pre-show tonight.
Was that Xbox One or 360?
360. I have Lips. I still have it, and the microphones too.
And it gives Xbox owners new ways to play, share, and have
In Lips, you could import your own music and just sing over it. Obviously, it didn't give you the words to sing to, but you could still import your own songs into it and karaoke them.
And it worked well?
Yeah, it was great. Imported some George Michael songs.
brings the club experience home.
Is this the first that Jay is back on screen or stage?
Like Jay,
Yeah, since the start, yeah.
Yeah.
producer, even an American Idol.
I don't even know. I don't remember what he did back then.
Yeah, like both those
Like, was he
guys.
platform? Is this when they started talking about
Plans for Xbox Live.
yeah, Xbox Live features? We're gonna get more people breakdancing.
I remember they were talking about like tournaments and stuff like that back
Yeah,
then.
you see that game invite? But, mate, they've got all this stuff now.
What are these people all playing from different devices?
No. They're still trying to vision what
You pick up that
Yeah.
console off the floor. That thing's gonna suffocate down there.
It was wired back then, remember? You had to pull your console out and put it somewhere. And then,
Well, I mean, I guess the OG Xbox is big enough to double as a table, so.
Yeah,
Is that the early Xbox version of like a bunch of 20-year-olds playing basketball on a roof? They're all huddled around a couch, just yelling at each other, even though they're all online.
Expanding the content with over 100 games in the Xbox Live pipeline this year. Expanding the competition and expanding the community. That's what Xbox Live is all about.
100 games within the first year.
We're gonna jack you into the online
Now
universe
you just expect
like no
most
other
games to have
company
online.
can. When you fire up your Xbox this fall, you'll instantly connect with.
well, that was a big thing back then. That was like every time a game would come out, everybody would ask, like, "Does it have co-op? Does it have online?" If it didn't, it was almost like people on Xbox wouldn't even buy it. That's why games like Sudeki and all that kind of got crushed. If you were single player only back then, it was.
Oh, they're talking about live now.
Players can collect before or after games to chat with your friends when competing on Xbox Live. Now, another
Just like-
innovation.
There wasn't messaging or anything in the beginning, right?
That same
No.
type of information that you get on Live now. But here on the internet,
that was the vision for it, but it all really took place on
you're at
360.
the office late
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
want to know what's happening on Xbox.
God,
Do you
remember
remember,
that
like,
website?
Any web-enabled device
Oh my God, I remember that site.
into our Xbox Live universe. Another new feature,
Zoom out.
Live Alerts, is going to allow you
Oh,
to
look at the
receive
palm.
game invites about games, about downloads,
This is
leaks,
bringing back some
and a whole
nostalgia.
lot more.
Oh,
On
geez.
any MSN alerts capable,
Like, what kind of watch is that?
like your PC, like your pocket
It's
PC,
definitely not an iWatch.
like your cell phone, or maybe one of these cool new Spock watches.
Okay. Thanks, Jay.
We introduced Xbox
That answers my
Did he say
question.
Spock watches?
We
I
promised
thought. Did he say Spock? I thought he said Spot.
a whole lot more.
I don't know.
So let's
And the
talk
funny
about
thing is, we
sports.
have smartwatches now.
We
Yeah.
said that Xbox Live would allow game developers and publishers to fundamentally rethink existing game categories and open up entirely new possibilities for the gamers that love them. Let's talk about something entirely new in sports video game entertainment. Sports on Xbox already look great. We've got the real players.
Oh,
the
is this
real
where they talk
plays,
about
the real stadiums.
all their sports
Even
games
the
being
real-
online,
XSN?
probably?
XSN?
Yeah,
Yeah,
XSN.
yeah.
get much better on Xbox.
They
They're
had
like
a lot of ambitious stuff
Xbox
for
Live
XSN.
Sports League and stuff. That's what that was.
To look a little bit shinier.
A lot of it never really came to
What if
fruition,
sports
though.
gamers really
I don't
crave?
remember
Yeah.
anybody ever playing in an XSN tournament.
They love
I was all excited about
is the
that, though.
competition. And that's why they love
I mean, they had
sports on Xbox
definitely
Live, where trash talk
ambitious,
is just part of the game.
Plans.
But we
You
know
guys remember?
Yeah, yeah.
sports competition goes well beyond one play or one experience or
They're going to have video chat on the OG
It's all
Xbox.
about the leagues, the seasons, the playoffs.
It was Jenny McCarthy. They had a demo.
And that's why I'm excited.
On the
Wait,
OG
Jenny McCarthy?
Xbox?
Jenny McCarthy?
Innovation that really
Jenny
leverages
McCarthy, yeah.
These new Xbox
I guess you'd have to go
Live
back
Okay.
that far to find when she was
the
relevant.
sports game category beyond anything you've ever seen before. Introducing XSN Sports.
Yep. There you go.
Beyond the game.
You know, it's funny. Their extreme sports are actually pretty good. Or like the non-team sports games, with like Amped and Top Spin, Links. Those are all really good games.
Now, XSN Sports from
Oh, that was
Microsoft
a
Studios
abrupt cut.
is a lineup of new Xbox Live games and sports leagues that blows away every notion of sports gaming to date. On XSN Sports, you'll be able to create your own teams, manage your own leagues.
I forgot Amped was considered a sports, like in their sports lineup.
I forgot NHL Rivals even existed. It's the first time I've seen that name.
Standings and statistics will all be updated on the site in real time. So every 15 minutes,
What is this guy doing with this camera? Look.
Yeah,
Because back then they didn't officially. I mean, obviously
No,
they didn't stream them, but they also didn't broadcast them in any way, shape, or form, did they? Back then.
No. I mean, maybe he's just trying to zoom in so you can read some of the text, but what?
Hader advances to the playoffs.
A cold.
You couldn't catch a cold. It's go time, yo. How do you like me now? I'm bad. Get out my house.
God.
Who's that?
that was Peyton Manning. Yeah, back then they used to bring up
You'll have to
celebrities
forgive me.
all the
I
time.
don't
and say,
know hand egg.
I forgot you don't know what American football is. I was like, how do you not know who
I-
Peyton Manning is? And I remember you're in Australia.
I
They
think
don't watch.
I
Well, the
know,
audio
like,
got all of a sudden all loud.
Do it. The
Brett
playoff
Favre
brackets
and-
just came up.
I know,
and
you
me,
know,
brother, in the big game
a few others here and there.
And I gotta tell you, I've seen bigger arms on a chair.
Pay dirt.
All right, big arms. You call that a balance?
The Sauce.
You have no running.
Is that where
game.
Gaz stole
The
his
only
name
thing you're
from?
not running up here is your mouth.
Jay, I'm gonna whip you on Sunday, just like I've been whipping you all over the league.
Look at them! Look at them advertising toxicity on Xbox Live.
But I have another game, Jay, in 5 minutes.
They're advertising trash talking. Little did they realize that wasn't going to be the
I am the man.
issue.
I am the man. I am the man.
Man, he is the man.
That was awful. Good lord.
So
Feel embarrassed.
stupid.
XSN Sports
Different times, mate. Different times.
with the introduction of NFL Fever 2004.
I mean, in some ways it hasn't changed. Just look at Keanu Reeves a few years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Oh, look at
that actually
Leighton.
came off all right.
Leighton
I thought
Hewitt.
really empowered
Wow.
game publishers.
I mean, and I think that came off real well. Don't get me wrong, but like, if there's any of the three companies that's eager to have either a damn car or a celebrity on stage, it's Xbox.
It's still like
Against more people
That American.
than ever before.
America.
if Phil's going to go all the way back and bring us back full circle, he's going to have some celebrity get up there and do some cheesy lines this year.
Yeah.
To reveal it. And you got something for him?
Yeah, Jay, I guess there is one more thing. And this is something that a lot of
One more
Xbox
thing.
gamers have been waiting for. And this time, it's coming on Xbox Live. Here's Joe Staten from Bungie.
Yeah, this is the
Yes.
whole reason. This is what everybody came for. Everything else they're just
So much
waiting
of
for
this E3 is coming back around, isn't it?
The world premiere in-game demo of Halo 2.
The infamous faked demo.
The level I'm still waiting to play.
Yeah.
Oh,
This still looks gorgeous. Still holds up.
It took 2 in the nose, then dropped into the atmosphere.
The game so did not look like that.
Fifth out of Diego Garcia. But don't expect a big welcome.
They had to strip out pretty much all the lighting. Like that's.
I don't
that's
even think the
major
360 games look this good.
this look this. Yeah, this like stole E3 that year, despite the fact it was completely fake.
Well, the thing is, dev kit. The dev kits had twice the amount of memory. I bet you $10. They probably have
Covenant
faster,
ground forces
slightly
own this
faster
city.
chips
We'll
and
need to
stuff.
deal with them before we can kill
Porting
that
this to
cruiser.
the OG Xbox, it just wasn't going to work. And it's a shame too, because it looks so good.
There's some people that argue that Halo Infinite isn't. I'm kidding. I had to get that out there for all the trolls.
I'll evac the wounded. Keep me posted, Cortana.
Of course, Sergeant.
Sir, Corporal Perez, A Company? CP's this way.
I mean, it's interesting because you can still see parts of this in the main game. You know, like this AI that you're following, he's in the main game.
No tags.
He's in the beginning of, or in the front of that
I'm calling it. It's 19.
hotel or whatever you guys come
got
up
hit as soon as we
to.
dropped in.
Who's in charge now, Corporal?
Sergeant
None of
Banks,
this
ma'am.
stuff was in
He's
the-
pinned down up front. Come on,
They
I'll
made
show
it seem
you.
like you're in a living world when they were doing
Yeah,
stuff.
and that's what the final game was missing. You know, like it missed that like grander scope. Like all of this, like it seemed like there was a battle going, like a war going on around you.
You tell me. Friendly's moving out. Covering fire.
And I don't know if you guys remember, but like early previews, they had. That's one of the things that I want from Infinite. Like they had it so that you. Oh, that's right. The battle rifle was single shot when you.
Yeah, I was about to say single shot battle rifle.
I like that. But yeah, like there were previews for this where you were able to see other, like other enemies off into the distance, and if you attacked one squad, they would call in reinforcements.
Well, even listen to the AI and stuff, like they're reacting. They're doing stuff that they really haven't like figured out yet. And that is some of the stuff I think they could, add to the current Halo timeline.
You know, like we've said in the past, like take all the ambitions and stuff that you had for these earlier titles and use current day technology to do it. I mean, really, with all a lot of it is the texture work, but the lighting is just so good. But especially.
See, none of that was in games back then. Like all that stuff going on around you. This seemed like a next generation. And it was.
Yeah, and it seems like these explosions are closer to the explosions in Halo 3 than Halo 2.
Do you remember the pop in the crowd? I don't know if you can hear it. I didn't hear it there. But there was a huge pop in the crowd when you picked up that second gun.
Yeah, I remember the crowd going nuts when they saw the dual wielding.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everyone right now, I think everyone is just like trying to pick their jaws up off the floor.
They were going. I remember the crowd was really into it.
Yeah.
No, were those clips from the behind? Because they did behind closed doors demos, which is basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But they kind of had that intro from Stanton where he's talking, and then Johnson comes off the side screen.
Well, I mean, the one-shot VR, I guess, now that we're seeing it, is effectively the DMR now.
Yeah.
See, remember, this was new as well. The fact that your AI would drive.
You know this is fake because they never drive this good.
No, they still don't drive this good.
No. Especially if their name is Buck. This was just, and this is again can still apply today. It looks like it gives the impression or the illusion of you driving around a city that's being, in the middle of a war. And I mean that's exactly That all of this just give us this game now.
You're right, though. Our jaws were. I mean, it was smoke and mirrors, so it doesn't count. But everybody's jaws were up.
Did they finish on this?
A phantom.
What'd you say?
Is that what?
Did they finish on this?
Yes.
Like, did they end the show on this? I can't remember.
I think so.
Roots.
I don't remember if they did a montage to end it. It's always been
Look out.
Well, they did the montage midway through. They have 2 montages. That's one montage too many.
Here's our first
now,
introduction to
the brute.
There's Craig. There's Craig.
The brute jumped on. Did the mounting end up happening in Halo 2, or did that happen in Halo 3?
Yeah.
It happened in Halo 2. I don't know if the brutes were able to mount. Like, I never seen. No, like the elites will mount, kick you out of a warthog or a ghost. But
that's the other part. Everybody went crazy. Remember that? That's like when everybody screamed when he kicked him out of the.
Well, because like, how many times did you get run over by it in multiplayer in part 1, right? And, you know, like looking back, this thing is horribly, just not horribly, but it what player in a Halo game would run from a fight? You know what I mean? Like, there are so many enemies back there, and yeah, it makes sense for the demo, but that should have been a clear red flag that this is all smoke and mirrors.
Nothing like that ever happened.
I bought everything. I tell you what, when I finished Halo 2, Halo 2 is the most anticipated game in my entire life. And when I finished the game and the credits rolled and I never got that logo, there was like a sinking feeling.
Yeah,
I was so depressed. I was like, what the hell is that?
I totally get it.
I was expecting it.
Because I remember the new Mombasa getting to this. I'm like, great. I was like, okay, this looks different. Maybe once the gameplay starts, it's going to be the same. Nope. Such a good. Music, everything's just selling it.
Music's a huge part.
Oh, doesn't he get the plasmas here?
Yeah. And then Cortana's like,
Bet you can't stick it.
Bet you can't stick it. You're on. Oh, I got goosebumps. So good. So good, yet not real.
It was a great vision, for sure.
Wow. Now you've seen where Xbox is going. But you've also seen something else. You've seen where our industry can go. The video game industry has 2 choices. There's business as usual with some incremental growth. Or there's the opportunity for explosive growth, to make interactive entertainment pervasive on the order of music, movies, and TV. We can make that happen by expanding.
How foreshadowing was that?
We can make that happen by
it's actually
expanding the definition of video game entertainment.
That's crazy.
So what are we waiting for? At Xbox, we're not waiting for anything, because we don't have to. We're not waiting for the next hardware cycle before expanding video game entertainment, taking it online and merging it with the music people listen to, the sports they love, and the friendships they cherish. We're not waiting for the future. Xbox is creating the future now. As the software and services leader, Microsoft has what it takes to drive that continuous innovation. We've got what it takes to inspire the next generation of games like Halo 2. We've got what it takes to build and grow the world's largest broadband content services, Xbox Live. And we've got what it takes to enable new experiences that bring together people, devices, and content which serve the digital entertainment lifestyle. The software and services expertise to make that vision come alive is hardwired into our company. It's in our DNA. It's what we do.
They've come back to all of this.
Do you think Phil watches this video like every morning when he gets up? like that is nuts. Yeah, it's funny, like how full circle it is from where they were at that point in time to now.
That's like so much of what he said then. It's like, my God, like they've gone back to all of it. Like, it's unbelievable.
It's kind of weird because they like touched on stuff that they were gonna do with the 360, further do on the Xbox One.
Yeah,
that later came back to bite them. But a lot of what they're like you said, a lot of it comes back to now. Especially when it comes to, like, it sounds like, whether or not it was the truth, it sounds like from that speech that Xbox had the full backing, or at least more of a backing of Microsoft than like what we saw with Xbox One.
But like they were awesome. Talking about services and software, and funny how it's all just going back to that. So on the modern day gamer scale of 10 being the most amazing thing ever, 1 to 9 being absolute trash, how do you rate that E3?
Well, based on that scale, probably 9.5.
Because you know how it is now. It's either E3 of dreams or the worst thing ever.
Well, the thing I can't remember what games were shown for the first time there. That's the hard part, because that's usually how people
I know. But I think that was a strong E3. Like,
it was. There were some really good things in that E3.
Yeah,
when you look back at it, it's a lot of like the best games you think of from that generation.
Yeah,
in that show.
Yeah.
So, and that
Halo. You got to try and put yourself. You got to try and put yourself like in the mindset of people that hadn't seen. You know, back then leaking wasn't a thing. Like, you didn't have the leaks like we have now. So most of that. The stuff that was new then was genuinely new because stuff didn't really leak. So, you know, seeing stuff like Doom 3 and what was the other ones? Like Breakdown and
Knights of the Old Republic, which stuff. I think released later that year, right?
Well, that.
Why did it get like that segment? Like it got like a couple seconds in there.
It was in a montage. It's just
and it released 6 months later. I think it released 2003.
They never had an E3 where they showcased Ninja Gaiden or KOTOR, right? Knights of the Republic. Like, those were always because I'm pretty sure, because Ninja Gaiden launches in 2004. Same thing with KOTOR, I think. Because what's that other BioWare game that launched in 2005?
Jade Empire.
Jade Empire, yeah. So I mean, that was the last opportunity for them to really give them a presence and.
But again, it wasn't being broadcast publicly. Do you know what I mean?
But if you remember, though, back then, E3 wasn't just the conference, though, back then. Remember, like, a lot of stuff would actually get shown on the floor. Because I remember they didn't show, Splinter Cell didn't make anybody's conference. And then it just came out on the show floor that year, or the year before. And then if you remember, Half-Life, wasn't anybody's conference. That just popped up on the show floor. So a lot of times these were just like the openings, and then you would get the deep dives where you really learn about most of the games during the actual show. So it was a little bit different. It wasn't just the conference and then that was it.
I think
now it is.
Back then, E3 had things that were revealed or brought up throughout the week, right? Like now it's all kind of like front loaded. Whereas back then. Maybe in their older days. Like, I know during, like, the PlayStation Saturn and later Dreamcast days, there were, like, additional news that would pop up.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was still like that here, but... I mean, even with the montage, even with the oddly paced montage in the middle, it was, you know, they still had a lot of good games.
They did.
They could have traded Grab by the Ghoulies with something. They could have traded that with...
Cameo.
Anything else. Anything else. But I think Grab by the Ghoulies was the only weak spot of things that they
and the music
had a focus
maker
on.
Or mixer, music mixer. Was it
why the hell did that get? Why did that get so much time? That was weird. You know, I still can't get over Knights of the Old Republic would basically launch 6 months after the show, and he got like a couple seconds.
I know.
SingStar was a thing back then, right, on the PS2?
What was it?
2003. I think it must have. Like, otherwise they probably wouldn't have bothered. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the PlayStation 2 launched in 2000. This was 2003. Yeah, I'd say we would have had the first SingStar by then.
Yeah.
And SingStar was huge. SingStar was very
especially
big.
in Europe.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I was wrong, by the way, fact checking myself. July 15th is when Knights of the Old Republic came out. So that's probably why I only got a second there.
Oh, okay.
And
so it came
E3
out.
was earlier, too, in the year back then,
July?
right? Wasn't this... It was still in May. Wasn't this back when E3 was in May? Instead of June time
God, I
frame?
don't even remember. I honestly don't even remember.
So...
It's almost 20 years ago. It's 18 years ago. Jesus. Far out.
It was in May. I'm looking at it. It was May 14th through the 16th.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Right.
Yeah.
So a month earlier.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Well, yeah, I'd give it a 9.
Yeah,
I'd give it
that was a
9.
good E3. That was a really good E3.
You had a strong closing with Halo. Like, you can't... Granted, it didn't mean anything in the end, but...
Yeah.
That demo for its time was a 10. I mean, people were just... I don't remember the hype. The hype was never higher, for me at least, than it was after...
No, and I don't think it was as high for anyone. Like, even Halo 3, even though Halo 3 was everywhere, and it was hyped, and for good reason, the competition caught up.
Yeah.
Like, back then, Halo was in a league of its own, whereas...
That's right. There was no Call of Duty back then.
Yeah, exactly. And
there was no Gears.
2007, where Halo 3 came out, was the first year of Modern Warfare as well.
Yeah.
Well, and there was no... We talked about this before, too, but like even like Gears of War, and I know it's a different game, right? It's more linear and stuff, but still, like, that set a graphical tone that people were kind of expecting from Halo. So I think that kind of...
Killzone 2.
Yeah, so it was still really hyped. I'm not saying it wasn't. It obviously sold a lot more than Halo 2 did. But in terms of how it stood out to the competition, especially on console, the only thing that kind of stole some of Halo's thunder back then was that Half-Life 2 floor showing. So when that popped...
But they weren't, like, directly competing.
No, they weren't, because that was on the PC.
Yeah.
But PC Master Race was definitely up in the console guys' face. I do remember that. I was actually on the GameSpot forums back in those days, and that was a big.
And I should correct myself. I said there was no Call of Duty. Didn't the first Call of Duty come out in 03?
No,
I think so.
Not for console. It was on PC. So Call of Duty
03 or 04. It did have.
Yeah,
it had a console port.
Yeah,
it wasn't like.
That was garbage. If it was on console.
Oh, it was garbage. Yeah, it wasn't even a port of the PC version of.
I think I remember.
It was
but
like
when I said there was
console.
no Call of Duty, I mean in terms of there was no competition from Call of Duty. Like, Call of Duty didn't become the franchise we now know it as until 2007.
Yeah,
with Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
So Halo had the market cornered at that point. So
it did. It was on its own.
That was good.
Yeah, it was fun. That was a nice trip down nostalgia lane, and it really is interesting. Because I always get this feeling. Well, if you watch the IGN interview with Phil Spencer and all the Xboxes, what was it? Like a few years back. That was the one thing I mentioned this before, but it was when Phil Spencer talked about the OG Xbox, he kind of lit up and he just kind of talked about how they were the garage band and then they did have that backing, but they had this autonomy because nobody at Microsoft really understood gaming, so they just turned it over to gaming people and said, "All right, here's some money, go make this make this work." Yep. And it really wasn't until I'd say about 2006, 2007, it went back under Windows. It became really corporate that's when it started to become more corporate. And that's when the corporate guys wanted to start having a say and make sure they got check the boxes on the multiplayer and things like that. But before that, when you had Ed Freeze in there and especially when they had that team, him and Blackley, they were gamers, and I feel like that's what he kind of I don't think you can ever really get back to that because now they are totally in the view of the corporation. But I think he wants to recapture some of that, and it'd be interesting to see if they can. But yeah, that was a unique time for sure.
Well, you can tell that they were trying to be disruptive back then, just like they are now. So some things never change.
Yep. Yep. Digital lifestyle, the services, the software and services, like it's all come full circle, hasn't it?
And it's really crazy because Microsoft, their implementation has been hit or miss, but the way that they see the industry going, they've been pretty much on the money ever since joining.
Yep. No, you're right. Yeah. Seeing where the trends are is not where their issue's been. It's been on the execution and messaging.
Yeah.
It was funny seeing that E3. Like, they launched that E3 started with a demo of Doom 3. They now own ID. They showed Bethesda there. They showed Star Wars, and I said a while back that I have a suspicion we're going to see some Star Wars this E3. It's just funny how that all comes back around, isn't it? It's funny.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Well,
it should be good.
I think that's a good note to wrap this up on.
Yeah, for sure.
Nick, OneBadMutha, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
And,
thank you. Thanks for putting this together. It was fun.
For everyone watching, the usual stuff, please like and subscribe.
Thank you.
Follow us on all our socials. Yep. Follow us on all our socials. And hopefully we'll see. I mean, we've still got, just under a month till E3. How many more of these are we doing?
Three more for right now. I'd like to do more, but leading up to E3, we got 3 more lined up.
Which other E3s are we looking at? Or are we not saying yet?
I don't think there's any harm in... It's 2005, 2006, and 2013. So, we're trying to...
Why the jump? Why the sudden jump?
Well, because we wanted to show, these pivotal moments for Xbox.
Yeah.
So, the E3 2003 is when they had the Halo demo. That's when people really started taking them serious. 2005 is when 360 was being introduced. 2006, they had an amazing E3 that year.
So let's step back. 2005 was when Xbox died, and then 2006 is when it was resurrected. If you remember, 2005 is when they had kind of an underwhelming E3, and then Sony came out with the Killzone 2 demo.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, Xbox is dead. So it was 6-1 sales back then. They're like, it's going to be 10-1 this generation.
They were almost too honest.
Yeah.
For 2005.
So that's going to be fun to see because after 2005, a lot of people were down, and then after 2006, that's when they gained that momentum that really carried them through the entire generation. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be fun to see back to back.
And that's where the first to 10 million kept on being repeated and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then of course
2013 is when you find out there's another console for you.
Yeah. 2013 is when I stopped gaming on Xbox for a while.
I don't know. The actual E3 itself, I don't think it was that bad. It was the event. It was the May event.
Yeah,
that was the problem.
Yeah. It was, the E3. But what I think overshadowed the E3, and we'll obviously get on this then. But what I think overshadowed the E3 2013 was the lack of a clear messaging, because there's so many rumors, so many questions about
the
online
price,
only
the
and everything.
It was
the Connect, the price, NSA.
Don Matrick did an interview right after E3. That was really the thing that tanked him. They actually had an okay show, but they interviewed him, and he just bombed that interview. Yeah. That's what he told everybody to go buy, or there's another console for you.
Yeah, go buy a 360. It's just
that'll be interesting to
talk about
that.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
But anyway,
so come back to as many of these as you want, Nick.
Yeah. We'll try signing off again. So follow us where you need to follow us, everyone, and we will see you for our podcast, and we'll see you for our next E3. What do we want to call it? Our next E3 revisit.
Yeah. So, all right.
Okay.
Later, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Take it easy.
Ciao for now.